They introduced her as that Brazilian dual specialist style, a boxer or kickboxer and Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter. That's something, whether you wrestle or judo is your game, you can kind of control the dual specialist sometimes. So we're going to see how Rizlen handles this.
She looks to be in the zone because she noticed a camera right in front of her before the fight started.
Yep.
I think one thing for certain is that Flordinice comes into this fight, you know, at the top of her game. She's had 3 fights in the last 12 months. You know, she won't be lacking any rhythm or confidence coming into this one, that's for certain.
Trying to fire the toe stab from distance.
She has so much power, and that's something that you can see in her previous fights, that she grabs her opponents and she just muscles them down.
Yeah, she's got great physicality. You saw it when you mentioned Veronica, the camera. Suddenly you see the pink mouth guard and the muscles pop. She's a physical, high athletic platform.
We know that Rizlen will try and take people down. Here we go. The judo comes in there immediately.
What, she'll try to attack the shoulder, the left shoulder, using her legs up on the wrist. Watch the right leg of Rizlen. Trying to hook this. Nope, it's not there.
Great job by noticing and not, because it's very easy for your opponent to take the back. What a beautiful suplex.
Yeah. That's another takedown there.
And that was flow. You know, that wasn't all physical. That was technical flow.
And now on top, and with great control, she's using her knee as a leverage, not allowing her to bridge in and really create space for anything.
So watch for north-south choke here. She may go palm to palm. No.
I think at this point, she's just really trying to control that movement, make her realize that she can't get out, and she's going to stay there and ground and pound her.
And she's on top of somebody very physical, so.
You do notice a different kind of physique as well. Flordinice perhaps more explosive, but Rizlen certainly has that raw power, doesn't she?
But Rizlen's also sort of bending with the winds of the fight, where she doesn't always have to exert. Well, watch this sequence here. Steps across and just see
an unbelievable
so
move there.
Beautifully done. And that wasn't physical raw. Again, now we're going to watch to see her hook over and try to attack the shoulder. This is an old school judo attack on that would be on the right shoulder. Right leg stepping over, sorry, left shoulder. Right leg stepping over and hooking the wrist. Let's see if she does it.
We're also seeing a lot less movement from Muniz than we were previously, just a minute ago. It must be so demoralizing for her to really have Rizlen on top and have her hips on top of the left side of her hips. That makes it even harder for her to move. Now she doesn't have that opening to go towards the back like she did a little bit earlier with the movement she was trying to achieve.
God, Rizlen really wants to attack that shoulder. You can see it. She's taking her time. But yeah, to Veronica's point, look how much less effort Rizlen is exerting through positioning and body control.
Flordinice tries to wriggle away.
She'll succeed.
And she does.
Yeah, and that's okay.
She might get taken down right away.
There was a little uppercut there. But
there it is.
Dirty little inside sweep.
Veronica's words turned out to be prophetic there.
Rizlen also doing an excellent job of not feeling the need to stay there. Okay, if your opponent is going to fight their way out, she's still very strong physically and mentally, but then we'll separate and we'll play this game.
And how important is it now for the Brazilian to perhaps keep a little bit of distance?
Yeah, there's a turning side kick, a little low. Yeah, it's tough to keep the distance, and you're fatigued now too, because different energy systems are used for wrestling and kickboxing.
And grab and throw again in such a dominant position.
That's a 4th takedown in 4 minutes.
Just controlling the head and the overhook on the arm, use the leg to create a ledge, and effortlessly using biomechanics and intelligent choices, she just puts her to the ground.
Props to Muniz for every time she's getting back up from these positions, because it is not easy to have Rizlen that knows how to control you so well from the top, and being able to escape and get back up and get taken down and back up again. And I think now she's searching for trying to get the back or something, but it's going to be very difficult with the angle that she has.
Still looking for that old school judo shoulder lock, and I think she's got something now. We can't see from this angle. If she has the arm, she does not.
Well, she's got 20 seconds to try and get a submission in this opening round. Time might be a little bit short.
I think you're gonna, you know, you could go for it one more time, or you can just use some hammer fists or elbows, whatever you can do to try to buzz your opponent before she goes to the round. That minute that you have, if you can't hear in it, your coach can't give you instructions. So.
Well, Flordinice Muniz survives one round where Rizlen Zouak was in total control. Is there also the element that perhaps in the fights that we've called of Rizlen, she was almost trying to prove a point by trying to perhaps stray away from her areas of expertise, whereas this time she's using those as real weapons?
You fall in love with things too when you go into the gym and you do all this great kickboxing, and Lopez's gym, the Fight Factory, they're so good at making people miss and then landing on the head while it's off balance. It's fun to do. So Rizlen may have fallen in love with kickboxing, which she's still going to use. You're going to see her punch and kick here until she can get a hold of her opponent and send her for a ride.
I think a great thing about Rizlen is that she's constantly adding tools to her game. We saw a spinning back kick in the fight. She does spinning, all sorts of spinning attacks and punch and kicks, and it's great to see her utilizing that as well as her judo so well.
Again.
And another overhook.
We're seeing the same thing time and time again, and that would suggest a little bit of powerless
watch the
sort
step
of
over
feeling here.
Yeah, watch. She's still looking for that. She's hell-bent on finishing this fight with her right leg scooping over the left wrist and using a shoulder lock. And she'll keep throwing and throwing until then. You've heard the idea that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? Well, when the result is good, like you throw your opponent over and over again, it's insanity to not do it.
Rizlen Zouak still showing her overwhelming, dominating force, and we can see a little outlook of Flordinice's coach.
Those knees are really great from Rizlen, especially because anytime she lets go of the control of the upper body, Muniz uses it as a moment to get back up. But then with these knees, she's still able to control her. She still has that really tight overhook. Because if she would have an underhook on that far side, she could then start to rein in strikes in some more. But that overhook, she really needs to like keep hold of it in all honesty, because if not, she'll use it as an underhook to get back to her feet like she has been before. But with how this fight's going, she'll just take her back down.
So Flordinice, to expand on what Veronica's saying, her right arm is underneath Rizlen's left arm. When Rizlen clenches over top of it, it's an overhook, but we also call it an underhook equivalent. So it cancels it out. And so it keeps her here. She's winning the fight. She can slowly knee the body, and then if and when, now she's looking, remember she was looking for the left arm, now she's looking for a Kimura Americana, some type of sequence on the right arm.
Could she perhaps be using her elbows there, perhaps to, you know, distract Flordinice as she tries to find a way through the defense there?
Like I said, it would be much easier if she had an underhook on the far side, because with the overhook, it gives her opponent an underhook, which she can use it as a backdoor escape and get back up.
Oh, look at that.
But at this point, I mean, she's just going to go back down. Might as well stay there.
This is a clinic, and it really is. Judo, the root of judo, of course, this is not judo, this is mixed martial arts, it's free fighting, everything combines and blends together, but the root of judo is such a elegant martial art, using the movement of your opponent and their physicality against them, and you're just seeing how gorgeous it is here, when done by somebody who can really, has mastered it.
Very technical, energy-sapping stuff here by Rizlen as well.
Can everybody see that tweet?
I didn't see it.
Zouak Airlines.
Ground and pound initiated, but Flordinice will scramble back to her feet, immediately pinned back by Rizlen, and we know what's coming here.
So she uses the overhook here as she steps her left thigh across. Let's see if she does it again. She'll step, there it is. Simple. Oh,
didn't quite work out this time, however.
Good for Flordinice, man. To be in this fight on her back after the 9 minutes she's faced is something incredibly admirable.
And she is a jiu-jitsu black belt. I mean, this is a great position for her to be in, one that she's very comfortable in, and she's probably going to look for this rear naked choke.
It has not been easy to get to this spot.
But look at the defense by Zouak there, scrambling back on top.
There's the test that Rizlen really also needed to have in a fight like this. It's when you're way out front and things swing hard the other way, it can really shock you. And Rizlen stayed calm and got to the top.
And here we see the crowd as well getting involved. Support for Rizlen Zouak in France is, of course, incredible. Very popular figure here.
Stay busy, guys. Let's work.
10 seconds left in this second round.
We'll look for an arm bar here. She's going to try to climb. Rizlen staying centered, so it's very difficult to do. You see her trying to upset her and move. But if it... There's an attempt. So after 2 rounds, Muniz will need a finish. And Rizlen will want to finish, but she's up by 2, one should assume.
From taking you down again.
And maybe even out of left field, like a low single or a takedown attempt of her own. That would be very unexpected. And a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, if she were to get on top, but you know, that's a bit of a Hail Mary too, and not necessarily highly advised.
No, but absolutely. Sometimes offense is the best defense. You know, if you take her down first and then she did to you, then...
It doesn't seem to be going that way.
No. You know, it's difficult. We can say all we want, what you should do when in that position, but when one person has 60,000 hours of preparing to look at this.
Yeah, ready to pounce there she was, though.
You know, a lifetime of experience in throwing you against your 2,000 hours in defending it, it just won't match up.
And if you're Rizlen and you've tried and gone to your strengths in the first 2 rounds and it didn't work, are you going to try and experiment something different or keep probing, keep looking for that weakness?
Yeah.
Well, it did work.
Yeah.
I mean, she is up 2 rounds and it has worked.
But she didn't
just
get the
hasn't,
submission.
No, she hasn't been able to get the submission, but when you're coming off a loss, what you want is a win, no matter how that is. Of course, the more stoppage is always the best thing, but as a fighter, you just want to win the fight.
There's a really strong kick there as well.
And when it isn't there, he doesn't force it.
Nice knee.
It's a really great question as to what you do when you're winning. You know, in theory, if something works, use it ruthlessly. But in another theory, you always want to keep the ripples of your river irregular. In other words, do things unexpected. And kneeing her to the face right here would be a really unexpected good choice. That's the thing when somebody's defending this throw, the knee to the head becomes available, or knee to the body here.
As long as she's not grounded, of course.
Yes.
The fight so far, perhaps this round, the most even of the rounds we've had between both ladies. Still 3 minutes to go.
And her corner calling her on, calling for more action. I mean, she's had 2 rounds of constant takedowns. That is exhausting.
For everybody.
She is looking a little bit more tired, Rizlen, as well.
But with 2.5 minutes or 2:45 remaining here, you're going to want there. She's bent. She want that left shoulder lock.
And of course, with 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining in this final round, time is running out for the Brazilian to find an answer.
So there's the underhook that Veronica was talking about earlier, fishing her arm under the right arm, trying to. There's an Americana. There's a number of straight arm locks. There's all kinds of stuff she can do to that far arm.
Also some very hurtful elbows there, attacking the eyes.
See how she's joined her? She's created a little L out of that arm that can attack the shoulder there on that side as well. Then if you defend using your left arm, it becomes available. She can jump to an arm lock or any number of things. So she's very dominant here inside.
Muniz's corner is actually telling her that she's going to want to spend the whole round here, and you're going to have to get up. You're going to have to get out of this position.
So useful having you guys in your multi-language here, because that, and you're absolutely
useful that he's
right.
yelling as well.
Yeah, but you know, Veronica, you pointed out exactly what they're saying, and of course, people watching at home understand that. But it's very difficult to do when you've got a judo champion on top of you in side control. It's a hard assignment, and good on her corner for urging her, but it's so difficult, such a challenge.
I mean, now she...
Does she go for broke here, Veronica? What does she try?
Well, the thing is that in the last round, she ended up with Muniz on her back for a certain amount of time, right? And that was the dangerous part for Rizlen, although she did a great job at turning that around. Now Mark calling for more action, and she's on to mount.
Immediately slices her left knee through to go to mount as soon as Goddard asks for it.
She's past the guard. The ground and pound is initiated. The Brazilian so far resisting, but Rizlen is in a position of power. She's got 40 seconds to get the stoppage.
Yeah, she might. She might.
Get out of there. Get out of that spot.
Call
There's
from
an
the
armbar.
referee to get out of there as well.
An armbar is there. And there it is. No. No. Yes.
Flordinice
No.
Scrambles.
Yes.
The problem with arm bars is that you are just on mount punching somebody and they give you the arm. Don't take it.
But
just
with
keep
30
punching.
seconds left,
The
with
fight
30
was
seconds left,
almost
it's
over.
tantalizing. It's inviting, right? So she's belly down. It is likely not there. As you can see, Flordinice grabbing her own hand.
It's 5
but
seconds
it's so
left in this
inviting,
fight.
Veronica. Like, it's so inviting.
You know,
I know, it's right there.
Rizlen knows she's done it. Look at the emotion.
Flordinice is begging her, please take it, please take it, please take it, because she knows she can fight her way out of it. That's why Veronica's like, you don't take it, because she wants you to take it. But if she got it.
Especially because Mark already said, come on, get out of there.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards. Clemens Werner and Naufal Lowati scored about 30-27. David Leatherby sees it 30-26 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, the Lioness of the Atlas, Rizlen.